And we are back with the playoff edition of the Schmeat Nation 3 podcast, presented as always by Power Director. I'm your host, Kieran Kale, and with me, Adam Rocket. Adam, surprised you made it here. I thought you would have taken a vacation, got the boys rested.
Yeah, always got to stick to business, man. Keep the routine the same for the rest of the season. There's plenty of time for vacation when the season's over. The boys are resting though; they're getting ready for next week's matchup. But
yeah, they're suiting up. We know there's not many of you who will watch. If you're not in the playoffs, let us know in the comments down below. I don't think our viewership tanks at these, and it's just because we make it for like 5 people who are in the playoff. Like,
I feel like we do. Oh, we see like right around that 20 views per episode, and then these ones are always like around the 8 to 10.
Yeah, it just drops off big time. So, let's rip into it. We'll breeze through a lot of the stuff. No power rankings this episode, but we do have something else, and then we'll of course dive into the matchups. But let's see how we got to where we got. Connor picks up a victory here. Didn't end up mattering because Parker got Josh Allen, and yeah, I mean, pretty good. How would you feel if you're Connor moving into the playoffs and this is your roster?
I feel like Connor is definitely lucky to be here, and not necessarily that his team is bad, but like I feel like a lot of the other teams in the playoffs, just like he's definitely the 6th team in the playoffs. But I mean, he's here, and all you need is the chance. So.
Yeah, he can get hot. I think Saquon's still RB1. Yeah, I mean, he's got the best running back, maybe best QB now too. So, wait, estimated return. Oh my God, this is new. All right.
That's this weekend.
I know, but this is crazy. I just never seen that before.
He was probably taking a rest day because it was Monday Night Football.
Yeah, he's got to get his veteran rest. So he secures a nice momentum W for himself there.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen teams win the championship with less than 7 wins in the regular season, so anything's possible.
Yeah, he can get out. Anyone can get hot. He's definitely got some flyers like Tank Dell and Ladd. We'll see if they make it into his thing. So we'll deep dive his team pretty significantly here. Not really too much implication of this one. Reese picks up a rare W for his team of late. And Eddie, I mean, pretty tough week here. Even with losing with 41.8 from Puka just speaks to the depth and lack of it that you've got. I guess he did have
yeah, I mean, his flex is always, it's been a tough bye week for him, but I mean, that's just been his team all years. The flex has always been iffy.
Yeah, not many options he had. Amir Abdullah, nothing going. So
yeah, and then the lone bright spot on Reese's team was Chase Brown
and Khalil Shakir from the trade. So it'd be interesting to review the Zay
I wonder
Flowers.
to see who scored more since the trade.
Khalil must have, I mean, I can't remember. There was the game, of course, Seth gets his just traded for a guy bump, as he always does. But, I mean, Khalil's been pretty consistent. I have to imagine he's been better because I know Zay has had some off games, just kind of the tendency. But speaking of it, going into the Lambeau, guys who have a chance to meet in championship, coming in with a goose egg on Thursday and still dropping 156 on Brad to carry you into the playoffs feels pretty damn nice for Reese.
On a bye week for him too. Like he was missing a wide receiver 1 and what is Lamar
2
the QB
wide receiver ones still? Yeah, I have to imagine. Yeah.
So I mean, putting up 156 on a bye week is so crazy. Like Seth's team is
fantastic.
Definitely scary.
Yeah, 100%.
Would have liked to have locked up the number 1 seed. I missed it by like 17 points, I think. So I might have to see Seth in the second round.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of that matchup here, huge performance, even despite having nothing going from the D and kicker. But Jamar Chase, I think we had forgot a little bit. I mean, I think it had been a bit since he really went off. Oh, no, never mind. He's just –
yeah, no, I mean, he had that bye week.
Yeah, that's what happened.
This guy's been insane, man. Having him on the team has been so much fun this year. Like, how often has a guy put up 40 points in 3 games in a year? Like, that's absolutely insane.
It is. downright disgusting. You've got a nice buy secured there, and obviously Jamie also has a buy, so not
Yeah,
too much
this
to talk about. I'm concerned about Jamie's team though. I mean, she's still put at 132, but it's definitely some trending down players, but she has a nice mix of trending up as well.
Yeah, I mean, AJ Brown typically, historically, once he starts complaining about the passing game for the Eagles, we'll see a bump. So that's what she's going to be hoping for. And Bucky Irving got hurt in like the first quarter, so
Yeah,
he
I
was
mean,
gashing the defense for the Raiders, man.
yeah, that was unfortunate with the Bucky Irving, but probably wouldn't have closed the gap though. You never know. So
Yeah.
Jamie will rest up there. We'll chat playoffs, and then of course just utter annihilation. Josh Allen. I mean, if there's any thought that this guy wouldn't go out and do the same shit, any thought about the defense being scary and him not being good for fantasy, wiped away with this one. Just an absolute domination in a loss too. So
It's crazy. I think it was the highest fantasy QB performance of all time.
that makes sense. That's how it felt. I mean, Parker just gashed at every single turn, and he had like Zach Charbonnet simultaneously going off. So I think Sharp started hot too. So his projection shot up above, and then Andrew just came in and sealed the deal. So
Yeah.
drop in, is that most points on the week? Yeah, dropping most points on the week going into playoffs. That's huge for Andrew with a -5. Both you and Andrew got to sort out the D's.
I know. I had Arizona defense because they have a cupcake playoff schedule, but like I'm scared now.
You got 1 week to see if you can get some reassurance, but Andrew's thrown right into the flames. So we've talked about his other guys, in length at this point. He had a couple bye weeks too, so definitely a force. I don't think he really would want to go against a team having Josh Allen, but
I mean, it shows in the projections too. I was looking at it a little bit, and he's still projected like 150, which is like, yeah, his team has the ability to do that. I think he has guys that have the ability to disappear as well, but like certainly a team that I don't look forward to playing. You know?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, he also just had Sam Darnold on the bench.
Yeah.
Guy could do no wrong this week. And then into a surprising one, but we'd seen it from Jay Yip. But man, 39 from Jordan Addison. No one else really did anything. Kyron just did his normal business. So big jump, big W for Jay Yip. Gets it over Max. Neither of those guys watching. So into the next thing, we have the copium meter here. The Fantasy Football Hub back out again. Let's pull up the schedule. So a refresher here. This will show you how you would have done if you had everyone else's schedule. So it reads as most grids do. So if I had Reese's schedule, I'd be 10-4. It kind of, most people would have had a pretty damn good season if they had Reese's schedule. And then what are some highlights for you on this one?
Yeah, the highlights for me are just like, I feel like Max kind of had, if you looked at Max's schedule, there's just a lot of teams that wouldn't have won a lot of games. Just crazy tough. So, I mean, he was the worst team in the league record wise, and it shows via that. Just some, yeah, like, well, Andrew just kind of middling around. I guess he's got a lot of winning records in there. So, pretty much anyone who is in the playoffs that has a majority of like sub 500 records for them. I feel like this year, not really anyone got robbed, per se. The teams kind of finished exactly where they should have. Is kind of how I see this. And you can go down to the weekly record and see like who was the unluckiest. Like the top 6 teams for the weekly record are the top 6 playoff teams. Like I guess if you want to look at who got the most screwed, it might have been Jasper. Like he was 4 potential wins off of having a better overall record than Connor against everyone.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no, the league really shook down pretty straight up. I mean, what you were seeing was the actual thing. I feel like a lot of times you can feel
the biggest shock to me was that Reese was in playoff contention for so long. I think statistically the worst team in the league.
Yeah, because I think he picked up wins on these 5 and 6, 6 and 5, 7 and 4 weeks, and then just obviously didn't in the other weeks. So that's tough for me. And then the power rankings will do this in lieu, and it's kind of as he said, it's just 0 of the 6 best teams and the rest. So I feel like this is pretty in line with what we had. There's the note, pause it if you want, but I want to get into these playoff matchups. Let's make it. Here we go. Number one, a bit of a juicy first week of playoffs. We got Bradley Lamb at 9-5 going up against Andrew at 9-5 for the 5th-4th matchup. Last time these guys played, Bradley dumpstered Andrew. It's always a possibility too, as you said, with Andrew's team, but it has to be coming in with some insane momentum.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious if you scroll down to look at like the week by week comparison for these two teams. It just feels like Andrew has the ability to just go so hard.
Oh my god, yeah, Andrew is all over the place. A lot of variance, and variance wins fantasy championships. Like you can't just middle your way to a victory of the.
I mean, I know Josh Allen just had the greatest performance of all time for a QB, but you have to imagine like the defense and kicker are going to pick back up for him. So it's like he doesn't need Josh Allen to get 60 points in order for him to score 170.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
And you can see it there in his projections. Like his team is good. He's got good wide receivers. He's got really good running backs. I think that's where the team stands out. Like Joe Mixon is better than running back 10. He's only down low because he missed so much time.
Yeah, I mean the average is 144. Pretty gnarly. And that it does not feel good to be going against Josh Allen this week because Detroit is just gashed on defense, and it just felt like he could do whatever he wanted to last week, and he really could. So
I mean, and that seems similar to the Rams, where it's like on offense they can keep up. So it's one of those games where it could just be back and forth the whole time. It's not like going to be a 24-17 kind of game like that. Essentially has 40-40.
Yeah. Oh man, if it happens again, holy shit! Justification for the 3rd-round pick of Josh Allen for sure. Yeah, really his only liability here is D-Hop. I don't know, like you could take some flyers with other people. I don't know if I necessarily would have the stones though at this point. It doesn't feel great to have him in there, but who else are you gonna play?
I mean, the only other one that I would think to play is Darnell Mooney in sort of a get-right game against the Raiders. Like the Raiders' defenses looked not good for about 10
but
weeks.
Man, Kirk has looked just old and decrepit.
Yeah, and then on Brad's side, I mean, the advantage is definitely in the tight end. He's rocking Caleb Williams over C.J. Stroud this week. Man,
I don't hate the move, honestly. I don't.
I mean, neither do I.
Last time they played Minnesota was nuts too. He went crazy. He got 30 points. So, I mean, you have to be chasing that ceiling when you're going up against Josh Allen, and you have to imagine Caleb is higher.
Stroud for too long. And then, I mean, he's got the potential to pop off at wide receiver too with Amon-Ra, and then JSN being a good steal in the draft wherever he picked him up. But I do feel like a lot of his guys also have the ability to just disappear at times. So this will be a good one.
The Tyrone Tracy into Baltimore, that game could get out of hand quick, but I think he's the receiving back, so that might actually just favor him, honestly.
I mean, I think he's just the only back, but I mean, I don't trust New York Giants, even if they're down to get the ball to a running back to throw. Like, Drew Lock, I think, started that game 0 for 10 or something. Crazy.
Good Lord. And then I worry about, is AOC playing? Who's the key? Because Ritter came in and Brock did nothing, right? Like
I think it's going to be Ritter.
Yeah, I mean, you would have liked to carry this momentum you saw middle of the season into the playoffs. Obviously, the 30-point games you absolutely love, but that's where he has his edge because Andrew really has kind of a hope for a touchdown guy in Hunter Henry, though he has been pretty consistent. Yeah. But he really, he's been volume play his game.
I mean, we'll see if Bucky plays for the Buccaneers, and if not, then Rachaad White, I think, gets a little bit of a bump too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's a good call out. On the other side, no, I don't think there's really any tough decisions at this point for Brad. Like, he's kept Kyle Pitts the whole year, but I think he's actually been like next level atrocious recently. Yeah. Best score is 9 in the last 6 weeks.
Another tight end with 0 touchdowns.
Yeah, good Lord. So,
but again, I mean, it's the Raiders. So if there was ever a time for him to get something, it'd probably be this year.
Yeah, this one's really tough. I like ESPN gives it 12 points, which in projections is like nothing. It's just like a point or two here or there. I think in 6-point QB coming off the week that he had though, like I'd have to take Andrew here.
Yeah,
It's been
I
tough.
do as well. I mean, I've been a certified Brad hater all year. And I don't know. Every time that I say I'm a certified Brad hater, it kind of always goes off. So you're welcome, Brad, for the free win.
There you go. He gets the power up here. Obviously, we saw it earlier. I'm sure we were both on Andrew back then. So it's just tough to imagine at this point seeing some of these guys have their wheels fall off. Like, I think the only liability is D Hop. I
Yeah,
know, obviously, CD just came off 2 weeks ago, a tough performance, but
did he get hurt in that game? Was that why?
oh, yeah, I do think he started getting on the questionable side. So he is expected to play
Yeah,
according to this new feature. So yeah, I think that this one's going to be really close. I could see it going either way. I just got Josh Allen last week, so you stare there and you think, how is he not going to do it again against Detroit?
yeah. Oh man,
But
this will
damn,
be fun. This one will be fun to watch. It's. I'm glad to have the bye this week.
yeah, I guess I didn't look at the playoff bracket, but winner of this plays.
Yeah, we aren't doing reseeding, right?
No, it just goes over as normal. So winner of this plays Jamie. Jamie, oof. I mean, obviously you prefer objectively Connor probably the weakest team in the playoffs. You prefer to be in your spot, but that does put you to go against Seth
Yeah,
if Seth gets the job done. So, woo, maybe. But speaking of
yeah.
that matchup, let's jump into it. Connor at 7-7, a little Cinderella story here going up against a juggernaut. Seth at 10-4, missing out on the bye just from points four. Is there much hope for Connor in this matchup?
I mean, I would have to say no. The line, honestly, very similar to the other game. I wasn't expecting that, but I mean, we are where we are.
It is
Like,
shocking to look at. That it's just from this running back. Like he loses four there. If he had just any other RB2, right, he'd be up in the 18-20 point range, which feels like pretty substantial.
I mean, he has Tank Bigsby, right? And if we scroll down and look at the points scored throughout the season comparison for these two teams, I have a feeling it's going to be Seth on top a lot.
Wow, but
I don't
Connor
know, man. It's like a
lady.
4 week stretch
Yeah.
there. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Seth had some struggles. He went from that 164 and took a hot minute to get back, but he's back up
He
3 weeks
is
in a
back.
row above 140. Pretty
Yeah.
incredible. But Connor, yeah, Connor doing the exact same. Connor has had a better last 5 weeks. In really reality, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where it's like he just got hot at the right time, you know, and
Yeah.
that got
I
him into
mean,
the playoffs, and now
and
all you
Juwan
need is
Jennings, like, yeah, man, he has so
they don't have any more cold
much.
weather games, so I think that was the last time
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings really laid an egg.
He's got so much potential on his team. I actually, yeah, it's tough to think because of the juggernaut that Seth has been, but you underestimate guys like Connor and you wind up regretting it bad. So it would be a really frustrating loss because Seth has just an absolutely incredible team. But if we come back next week and we're pointing at Sincere McCormick
Putting up like
ducking,
3 points or something, yeah.
but I don't hate the play. I mean, I think he did just exactly what Seth needs. Yeah, like 10 points, you'll
With the
take
rest of
that.
his
With
team,
yeah,
yeah. Especially getting Lamar and Terry back for like he put up 156 last week and still it was without those two. So
yeah, he does have Patrick Taylor. I wonder if we get the news on Garendo and he starts this guy. I don't really know what this guy has done in his career. I guess he got a touchdown. Was that 2 weeks ago? No, last week.
yeah.
So oof.
I mean it's on Thursday night, so do you really want to risk that on Thursday night playing Patrick Taylor?
But he would be the RB1. I guess. I mean, it's Kyle
Yeah,
Shanahan
but
though.
I mean it's
Dude's
yeah.
such a dick.
It's one of those things where like it worked out with Jordan Mason when he said that he was gonna be the lead back, but they have like 4 guys now on the active roster that could just be cycled in. Like We would like to think that there's just a lead guy in that backfield, but in reality, is Patrick Taylor that much different than Israel Abanikanda? I think maybe they just
Yeah.
switch in whoever's hot.
I haven't seen if he's being activated for the game yet. I mean, that'll be something. I'm sure Seth's up to date on all the scenarios. So, ooh, man, it's scary with the RB2. And then let's check the Zay since we looked into Khalil. I mean, pretty close. The 29.7 game, actually, if Khalil didn't just do a very similar performance last week, would have gave it. I'm sure they're net out to pretty close.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed's totally fallen off. This guy's a bum.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it was such a hot
week,
start for him, but I mean, he had that 1 week in Philadelphia and then that 1 week with Jordan Love came back, but I guess he hasn't really done too much since then.
Yeah, the only concern
was tough to judge.
The concern here for Seth is Derrick Henry goes fucking crazy and they go up 2 scores and New York can never get close. So he's got that narrative, but I'm sure Lamar, I don't think he's had a single bust game this year except for that Steelers game. Yeah.
It wasn't even that big of a bust.
No.
Busted against the Raiders.
Yeah, true. 18. Forgot about that one. That was a weird one. So, meanwhile, Joe Burrow, like, they'll keep fucking slinging it. So
that's all they can do. I mean, it's crazy how much they have to throw the ball.
Especially with the fact that Chase Brown's playing well, but it's just all through the air. Like he's just catching balls. So Isaiah Pacheco's a loose cannon. I don't know if he did anything. So maybe this is the week he comes right back into form. He's been ramping up for it. That's going to be kind of the narrative because Seth doesn't have an RB2, and at the moment, I guess Connor doesn't either. Maybe Seth's pulling his hair out hearing us talk about Sincere McCormick when Isaiah's done absolutely nothing. So, but the top dog, Saquon, he needs a big one.
Yeah, I mean, who do they play against Pittsburgh? That's a tough matchup.
Yeah, it's hard.
But, I mean, Saquon, I feel like is kind of matchup proof at this point.
Yeah, he's had a legendary season for sure. I mean, I think he's chasing the rushing title. That's probably why A.J. Brown's not getting many balls.
Yeah.
They're just running.
I mean, they won 10 in a row, so there's no need for them to change anything up at this point. My only concern with Connors, well, I guess not my only concern, but a big concern is still starting 2 tight ends. Like, you never want to be in the playoffs starting 2 tight ends. At least that's my opinion.
Not in full PPR. Yeah.
Especially going up against a team like Seth, where you're probably going to have a ceiling game to win. So it's like maybe he swaps someone else in, but
fortunately for him, he has like Tucker Kraft is the night game, so if he needs a pivot, I don't know if this guy plays in the afternoon or whatever.
It's Monday night.
Morning. This is Monday night.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if this is the thought process here, but Raven McLeod's got to be your ceiling dude, right? Like coming off an 8 for 98 when no one else on the Falcons can do it. So I wonder if he pivots this in or if this is just a coincidence ad. Like when did he grab this guy? Yeah, he added him today. So I don't know if that's his thought process and he identifies, what is happening on Seth's team and slots in a ceiling guy. It's very high level fantasy, but we've seen high level fantasy from Connor all season, being scrappy with it, getting to 7-7. So
yeah.
That said, I think are we both going Seth here? Do we jinx 2?
Yeah, I mean the logic says that Seth has just got this in the bag based on history, but dude, I want Connor to win so bad.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
It would make me feel a lot better next week, but
yeah, man, Seth's team has been a buzzsaw. Has quite the trajectory.
Yeah,
we'll both taste Seth. All right, I don't really think there's too much to see otherwise. We'll go Peepsy. How do you see the actual thing? So the best spot to be is, of course, at the top here. But really, you're just kind of fucked no matter what down in the bottom because you can bounce right back to the bottom.
Well, I mean, you just need to win that second week. If you win the second week, you're guaranteed to not play on the toilet bowl.
True. So you don't need to focus on this at all. Yeah. Damn, dude, beer mile would be hard. Who's your favorite to run the beer mile? We've done the deep dive
Oh,
analytics with the
I
fantasy
don't know,
football. How
dude.
good
I
the
mean, it's
change.
got like Reese's team just has to be so banged up at
But
this.
he's all the way at the top. He
But yeah,
just
so
needs
we'd
to
have to
win
lose
once.
3 in a row.
Yeah. If
I
Reese
guess
wins
whoever's
this
in that
week,
middle game only needs to win one, too. Needs to win this week, and they're safe.
true. Yeah, true. Oh God, which doesn't feel great going up against J.
Yeah, we have seen
Oh
a couple
man.
ceiling performances from him, and we've only seen one ceiling performance from you. Oh man,
Yeah.
I feel like favorite to run the beer mile has gotta be Max. It feels bad to
Is
say.
it a legitimate bad team at this point? Because I thought he was getting some guys. I mean, he hasn't won a game since week 3. It was warm outside when Max was winning games. Oh yeah. I mean,
I
he's
mean,
got
scroll
some
down. What is
ceiling.
his
Oh,
what's
he's got
his graph
3s.
spin?
Oh man, that is just a slow decline down.
Yeah, I mean, he had that peak week in week 11 there, but I still think, yeah, I mean, he still lost that game.
Oh man, yeah, he hasn't won in a very long time. It's tough sledding. Eddie picked up the big. Yeah, I guess it's got to be Max. I could see Max and myself battling it out. I think next week, and I could very easily be down there. This week's huge for me, obviously.
Yeah.
As the winner of our game, it is nice being up here. You win and you don't have to do it, but I like the way other platforms do the thing where it's an actual bracket and it's just like the losers progress.
I mean, we could very easily do that.
I just never remember to think about the toilet bowl moving in.
I mean, we would just have to make our own bracket in Excel. But
Yeah, no. I know you can edit. It's super easy here. Oh, wait, hold on. How did I get in? How did I get the bye? All right, I think that'll do it. Anything else to say from your
I
bye
don't think
week
so.
plot?
Yeah, I think I'm sitting pretty here. It's gonna be fun to watch football on Sunday.
Yeah, just why
And I can't
even
imagine
watch
it will be.
with
Yeah,
no fantasy
exactly.
implications, man? It's like, does the game even exist? Go golfing.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll get a free day.
Yeah, get your Sundays.
It's like
back.
football in week 18 at this point. There's no point in watching.
Yeah, for real. It does. The steam completely leaves, so I have a chance for me to have no meaningful football to watch next week. So hopefully it's not the case. Good luck to the 4 of y'all in the playoffs, and good luck to everyone in the losers bracket. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone.